shadows where the whispers dwell, always trying to unring the bell. The red road calls a path less known, with haunted streets where the eerie winds moan. Creatures lurking just beyond the light, not just tales spun to frighten the night. The masquerade of ghosts, they walk along in this gritty realm. We're all too young. Take the red road, let the spirits unfold. Follow RezNeck Calkins, let the mysteries be told. Through the dark we'll weave into the unknown. With each step we take closer to home. They say it's fantasy, those hidden cries, but the brave-hearted witness the truth in the skies. Ancestral voices in the softest breeze, whispering wisdom that brings you to your knees. Those who mark when shadows start to crawl are the first to flee.
Welcome back to another week of Red Road Paranormal. I greatly appreciate it with your favorite RezNeck here. Tonight we got a special show. We have Anthony, make sure I get this right, Simonelli, and we have Jennie Collucci on the show tonight. So come on up.
Hello.
How you
Did
doing?
I get it right? How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey. All right. Want to make sure we got everything right. So for my viewers that normally tune in that don't know who you guys are, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Go, Anthony. Go. No, you go.
You go. Ladies first.
That's the proper way.
I love it. That's very nice. We work together, obviously. So
couldn't tell.
Yeah, we're definitely a pair. I'm Jennie. I've been investigating the paranormal for about 25 years now. I'm definitely much more on the skeptic side. Not skeptic, I would say critical thinker side of things. I'm not a sensitive, I'm not a medium, anything like that. I like to approach things really scientifically as much as I can. I realize that we can't always do that, and there's a lot of wonder in what we do, and I love that too. That's the beauty of it. I got involved really to try to help people not be afraid, to try to calm people who were really scared, whether it's in their business or their home, and reassure them really by debunking things mostly, or helping them deal with what activity they did have. So that's my short story. And I am a co-host of Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians with my friend Anthony.
Yeah, which we just came off of.
We just came off of, so we're a little bit.
We came off our show, came right on to your show.
I appreciate that.
Oh,
I know how it's like with the quick turnarounds. You know, and I love the fact that you mentioned how you like to debunk things first. That, in my opinion, you have to. As a paranormal investigator, I'm also a psychic medium, more like a 4X, but still, I look at debunking things first.
He stole your joke, Anthony. He stole your joke.
I know, that's my joke. I use it all the time.
Hey, see, we get along. Forget about it.
Right, but don't you think we should work together, right? Like, I love working with mediums. I love working with mediums.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, what I love about that is the fact that sometimes you'll be in a location where you have a spirit in the corner going, I ain't doing those stupid human tricks. I ain't going to mess with that equipment. And they're just sitting there, they're talking to you as a medium and not interacting. You know, a lot of times you have to, hey, dude, you got to give me some props here. You got to go interact with this. Let them know I'm not full of BS here. Right. So sometimes they do. And sometimes they go, stupid human tricks.
Me too. Yeah.
So Anthony, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I've been investigating since I was 13 years old. So going 50 years, I've been doing this.
Okay.
I was doing it before people actually accepted it as much as now. You know, so I went through the years of, people that didn't want to be part of it, whatever. But I've been doing it. I started experiencing things since I was 3 years old. And as I told my parents and stuff like that, and they didn't, my mother, they believed me. I come from a Italian Catholic family, so couldn't talk to so much. So,
right.
And so I used to pick up a crayon, pencil, a pen, with everything, and I started drawing it. So back then, when I was a kid, I was drawing this stuff. So I do spiritual art right now. I'm a spiritual. I call myself the spiritual sketch artist.
Okay.
And when I go into locations, I see different, like you said, spirits and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And they're in the corner. They don't want to deal with the equipment, but I'll see them and I can draw what I see. So I actually give a face to the dead.
Okay. Cool. I
So
like
that's
that.
what I do. And I've been investigating for years. So, I've been to a lot of locations and stuff like that. And we got our podcast. And so keep busy that way.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. As an artist myself, I've yet to mix the two of the paranormal with my artwork.
You should try it.
Really?
Yeah, I actually there's moments when I'm tattooing, I will zone out and others think I'm channeling because I'll come back and be like, damn, that looks cool. I didn't think I had that in me. And it's not like
That's so
it's not
cool.
like I seen it or experienced it. It's just boom, there it's there already.
Yeah.
It's almost like a trance, like another level that you have that
Yeah.
you kick into.
Yep.
Mhm.
As long as the music's flowing right and I can hit that zone, I'll blank
Sure.
out and I've shocked myself too many times. I actually had
you
someone
wake up.
tell me, yeah, I've had someone tell me, well, that's because you're channeling, you're
That's
letting
pretty
others
cool.
work through you.
Mhm.
So
I mean, as an artist, I mean, you should try that when you go to locations. If you actually seen these entities or spirits, whatever you might see, they might know you're an artist, and they might want you to give them, like I said, a face.
Yep.
And I think sometimes they come to me, it's not because, well, maybe because they know I could draw them, and I can actually, because a lot of these things you can't get on camera. You don't get
Right.
you don't get a lot of
Right.
this stuff. And I just put it on a piece of paper with a pencil, and that's how I end up doing it. And I've been pushing that for a while now. It's and I didn't even think it was anything until like 3 years ago. I've been drawing for years.
Mhm.
And one of my friends actually talked me into showing my stuff, and that's what I did. And now it's everybody seems to appreciate what I've done through the years, because
Right.
I thought it was my own personal experiences, and not everybody believes your personal experience.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you seen that in the corner. So I didn't think, oh, you drew, you got a great imagination. But if you see the variations of all the different things, all the different creatures, all the different spirits that I draw, they're not alike.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
that's the whole thing, and they got to do with it. Jennie's seen all my stuff, so
They're so specific. He also tells a story with each picture. It's not
Yeah.
just a drawing. It's this woman, used to work here as a baker, and she has red hair, and she has it's very specific,
yeah.
which
And
is
I
unusual.
shock myself too.
Yeah.
I shock myself. I'll draw something,
Right.
and I'm getting to a point like last year or so that people show me pictures, and I could draw something from that picture. And we have people that come on our podcast, and show, we show evidence.
Yeah.
And I'll draw something, or they'll just tell me a story of their location and stuff, and I'll just get an image and I'll draw it, and I'll send it to them. They're like, "Oh my goodness, we
Right.
just had that with the DOS house not too long ago."
Yeah. That's a new
Nice.
level for you.
And it's coming to a point that I could actually see pictures. I call it remote drawing, because
Right.
I see a location and
Instead of viewing, remote
yeah,
drawing.
and the person talks to me too, and I could give them something from that location, which I think is, to me, shocks me every time. Shocks me. It's
You're
like,
so good.
Right.
it's like, really, really, really. I get so excited. I got pictures hanging up in the Hinsdale house, now the DOS house, and I'm gonna be in a book in England. So it's
Yeah.
Nice.
It's interesting how everything just came together with that.
Right. That is pretty cool. To be able to take that art and then to run with it with the paranormal and then to be recognized for it. That's an astonishing feat right there.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the guys is I have a picture of his house. He's doing a documentary on this haunted house that they just ripped down and everything. And he actually asked if he could put one of my pictures in his documentary. I'm like,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's coming to, it's like, I'm very, to me, if I say something, I show you, and then you say, and they get familiar. I'm just like, wow, this is pretty cool. Doesn't matter how many years you do something, you get something, you still like that little kid, like, oh, cool.
Oh yeah, I'm that way on investigations because I go in completely blind. I don't like to know any of the history or anything. I go in, and then anything I pick up on, there's already pre-documented because we film everything we do. And so when the later footage comes out and I get to see it, I go, holy crap, I was right. Or wow, it blows my mind every day.
The validation's really good for you. It really is. Yeah. And you guys are so helpful to me because I don't see anything, never have. Like Anthony can show me a picture. This is a guy who's over there, like you said, in the corner, and this is his demeanor. This is what he looks like. And it helps me ask the right questions, Yeah. So we really work together in that respect.
Yeah. And it's great when you have a partner that you can work like that with.
Yeah.
Because the energies flow just right. You can bounce things back and forward.
It's true.
And it helps with the investigation.
And I always send it down the darkest and the dirtiest hallway.
Yeah, he's like, you go. Yeah, you go.
Me too.
You go in that crawl space. You go in that dark. Yeah, he stops me up there.
If I go into a crawl space, I'm not crawling back out. I'm gonna be like a cork in a bottle.
Right. Well, I'm 6 foot, 325 pounds. I'll go anywhere the darkest, dirtiest spots they are. I've learned over the years that darkness runs from me. So you tell me, there's an evil spirit down there. Well, I'm going to go down there and check it out. And chances are I'm not going to get anything because as I'm coming in, they're going somewhere else in the building to stay away from.
They're like, no, thank you. Yeah, exactly.
I used to love doing that. I used to crawl in all these little crannies and stuff like that. But the body's not there no more.
Now he makes me. Now he just shoves me in there.
So it's like, hey, Jenny, you think you could do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Mikey.
You get in this coffin, Jenny. Yeah, you go in that. But I am an attic and basement person. Like I always go like right to the basement or right to the attic. I love those places.
Yeah, best places.
Well, it's like Gwen and me went on a road trip last summer for Paranormal Walkabout, and we were up at Eloise. Right. First place I wanted to go was down in the basement by some of the tunnels. I was drawn down there. Slapped the old Estes gear on, and away I went.
Yeah,
that's the place to go. I agree with you.
Yeah, well, spirits I always found out hide in cluttered areas. Usually the basement or the attic are the two areas where there's more clutter than anywhere. And that's why you always see shadows in those places too, because there's usually stuff there that, they're hiding behind. I don't know if it's where they go to stay. I don't know. But
I think with that theory, it's because it's the least trafficked area. Because you don't have a lot of people that go into the basements or in the attics. They use them for storage, and they can kind of be left alone. Or the other option is maybe there's something that they're fond of in one of them storage areas that they're trying to stay close to.
Yeah. Something stored up there.
Yeah.
Some of their property, their old property, or something like that.
I never thought of that. You often do pack things up when someone passes away, right? And store it in a hope chest or like a box or something in the attic. Yeah,
it's always stuck in the attic, and sometimes
you have grandma's wedding dress in the attic, right? Yeah,
right.
Always. Yeah. Right.
Something personal, to a person that
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I feel that's good. That's if you have something personal. I'm a big believer of that. If you have something personal to somebody that was alive that's still around, and that's personal to them. I always use it when I used to speak. I used to say like a guitar. This guy played the guitar his whole life, and that was his main thing. Now he passes, and nobody in his family plays guitar, so they sell it or they give it away, whatever. And that guitar still has his energy on it. And this person could still be around it. That's only if they don't pass over. Because not everybody stays.
All right. Yeah, some do pass over, some come back. You know,
Visitors. I got some visitors.
Yep. Some decide just to stay here and not go over. And I've noticed even with some of the stuff that is left behind, even if they pass over, they'll still come back and check on their things and their family. You know, so like your guitar situation, yeah, I could definitely see it from the energy being left behind from playing that guitar for all them years, the blood, sweat, and tears that are put into it, along with the energy. It's going to hold it.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel that's possible.
You know, and then whoever now is playing that, you know, they're going to start having experiences. And if they're sensitive enough, they very well could be channeling that other person in, and they're learning from the other side.
Yeah. Good or bad.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's I guess that could be possible. You know, they are channeling through it if they have abilities.
Yeah.
Imagine have like Jimi Hendrix guitar. Or, and then you go out there and you have Jimi Hendrix guitar, and you could challenge to Jimi Hendrix, and you'd be the new, you know, it's like, wow, one of the greatest guitarists again, you know?
Yeah.
It's a great example, a musical instrument. It's so personal. Yeah.
It is. You know, that's their precious, their love and joy. You know. So that, definitely. I could see that.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely energy wise and stuff like that. You know?
I was part of a documentary where there was an antique shop it was a documentary about an antique shop in New Jersey, in Denville, New Jersey. And they had a guitar that they didn't sell because it wasn't just energy. It was really negative. Like there was some really negative events associated with the person who originally owned it, who passed it down. And then there were more negative events. It seemed like bad kind of things just followed it. So they made the decision not to sell it. And I actually had seen that guitar move, like fly over, things like that. Like really, it was the first, that place was the first time I had seen objects move and fly, cameras turn, things like that. So
I've seen cameras turn.
Energy. That's some energy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen doors open, but nothing like, you know, things flying off shelves.
Now, with that example, I almost wonder now, let's play devil's advocate here. Is it that it's negative, or is it that something is waiting for the right person to walk into that store, the right energy to take that home with them in order to play it? Like we were saying, someone's energy could be the last person who owned it, loved that thing so much that will not allow anyone to take it unless they know they're going to love and cherish it like they do.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny that you said that, because I was recently, you're going to think I'm nuts, but I was thinking about this with houses. I was thinking, if say you build your house, you live in it with your family and you own it and you loved it and you raised your kids, and someone moves in and like really hates it. I always thought, well, maybe you might not like that so much, you know, kind of thing. And you might make them miserable in that house. Same idea.
Right.
Like you're waiting for the right people to
things call out to you also. Some things actually just call out to you. You go there and go, this is it. This is it. This is what I want. And it calls out to you. And sometimes you think you choose something and it chooses you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I've had that happen in my life. You know, different things over the years. You know, you walk in, you're not even in the market for anything, and you see it and you go, that's got to come home with me.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing that's going to stop you from taking it home.
Right.
You know, you could be spending your last dollar to eat for the week, but you're buying that item.
Unless your wife stops you.
I ain't got one of them no more, so I ain't gonna worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Or your bank account stops you.
Yeah.
Spend your last dollar. Yep.
You're down to your last dollar. So it's just interesting how objects, you know, are like we were just talking about, you know, trigger objects on investigations. And we were just talking about the trigger objects. And I'm a big believer, and so is Jenny, trigger objects on certain locations and stuff, especially with children and everything, you know.
Right. But really thinking about them, like really making them specific. Like we were talking about, like I do a lot of 1700s places. Like I have wooden toys, I have marbles, I have jacks, things like that. You know, you can't just bring like teddy bear and expect everyone to know what a teddy bear is before Teddy Roosevelt. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, right.
Well,
I
Teddy
love
Bears
you
are around
brought that
before
up.
Teddy Roosevelt. You know that.
They
Yeah,
were
I know,
around,
but
but
they
they
weren't
weren't
called that.
popular.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
weren't popular, and since he had one, that's why they call it Teddy's Bear.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But you
they
don't
were
bring a
around
Tonka
before
truck. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So,
You bring a ball.
You know.
yeah, ball or whatever. You know, so it's you know, we bring trigger objects and everything like that. So
Yeah.
it's and lately I would have been doing investigations like you know, me and Jenny, we just did it at Penhurst and all different locations. But at Penhurst, we just sat there and I said, let's let the building talk to us. We just sat there with our recorders
always
and
do
our
that.
video you know, with the video, the night
Yep.
vision cameras on, and just let everything talk to us. And she got one video. Well, what was it? It said it actually cursed at it cursed.
So I just turned the recorder on and we said we're just going to be silent and listen to the building. And we're pretty good about really giving it time, because some people do that for like 3 minutes. You know what I mean? And that's not enough time. You really have to have more patience, right?
Yep.
So we waited for like 20 minutes, half hour, and I played the recorder back, and some guy was complaining about having to work. He's like, I can't believe I have to up and work tonight. I'm like, this is not like, it was so
on the
funny.
EVP, and it came out that clear.
It was so clear. I was like, that's not a person. Like, it was that loud. This guy,
Yeah,
as soon
it
as
was
we got
one of the
quiet, this
locations.
guy was like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, that was in Penhurst. So that's the recent one we just
I
did.
love those kind of EVPs that are hilarious.
Yeah, I had a it was like, did he just say that? He was like,
I know.
it's like,
Can't believe I gotta
whoa.
work.
That he just was like, you
All
couldn't
night.
believe the guy was upset. He was complaining on our EVPs.
It was great.
On the recorder, he had to work all
But you
night.
know, if we weren't quiet, we might have missed it. You know, if we were talking over it, we might have missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of my favorite techniques is to leave a recorder and walk away and just say, I'm going to leave this here. You let me know. You say your piece. Give me your message. You say what you want to say. I get more that way than asking, you know, the same old questions.
Exactly. I've actually been out on investigation before and had my recorder going and forgot to shut it off.
Yes.
So then it's in the car for hours with me. And you go out and you realize, oh, it's still on. You back it up a few minutes and you have something there.
Yeah.
You know, hours away from the investigation, miles away, nothing should be there.
No.
But it is. And it's corresponding to what you were doing at the investigation.
Whoa. So they go with him just like they go with you. Anthony, like at home, he's got like in and out with spirits coming in, watching TV with them, popcorn.
I got to a point because, you know, as much as you want to protect yourself, there's always something going to be following you home eventually, or here and there. And if anybody says no, that's not true.
No.
Because everything follows.
I've never had anything follow me home.
And what happens is that things, you know, I do protect myself and everything, but I still get that you know, things still follow me home. And then when I do, I'd like to see like a head pop out or something. And I say, join me. I'm watching the TV. He goes, well, come in, you know, and I welcome it in. Yeah. But the whole thing is, it's not like, I think because I'm not afraid of it or I'm not showing any fear, it doesn't stay long. It just comes in and that's it. I actually felt the chest in the couch go down next to me a couple of times.
I've had that on the edge of the bed late night watching TV, and it feels like someone sits on the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
Really?
You know? And I know that's my loved ones, because that's what I allow in my house with me, because my guides will keep everything else out. You know? And I tell them, when I'm on location, you're more than welcome to interact with me. I'm here for you. But once I leave, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know? Most of them do listen. Yeah, most of them do listen.
Gotta stay.
I've had chances where a few kids have followed me home, you know, from an investigation, and that's because they were sent home with me. The mother was on the location. They knew that, you know, I was a father. I'm a big cuddly teddy bear, but I'm big and scary, you know, so they have that. They knew that they'd have that protection. Well, it came to a point where, you know, you're walking through the house, you're seeing little things, you know, little kid heights just dashing around, and then you got the grandkids over, and you notice that, well, I swear I just seen a kid leave, and they're right there next to you. You know,
Yeah.
you smell like a little bit of a smoke and stuff like that, and eventually you just got to go, hey, it's time to go back home, guys. Sorry,
Yeah.
you hung out long enough. You're safe. You're good. You
Yeah.
let them go.
Yeah. I mean,
For sure.
sometimes these kids follow you because, like you said, they associate you with something like maybe you're like a father figure or uncle figure, even a brother figure. And that's why they do attach to you at certain times. It's not
True.
only a child. I mean, you could be on a location and a woman or a man, and they feel some kind of connection to you, your life, and their what their life was. So that's why I think that's my theory why they follow you sometimes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They feel that connection somewhere along the line. If it's not, a family member or a friend or boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it might be. That's why I think they have a connection because they associate you with something else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They can trust you.
Yep. I've gone to a few locations where it's come out that I've been there in a past life. So the location itself welcomes you in.
Oh, that's
It
cool.
calls you back. You know.
So people, I love that, Rez, so much. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I love that gets me enthusiastic because I love when people talk about locations as almost like beings, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like living things.
Well, everything in this world is energy. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything from this mic that I'm speaking on to us, to the headphones, to the fieldstone house that I live in.
Right.
You know, it's all energy. It's just in different
Exactly.
forms. So
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
all living and breathing at some point in time in some sort of way.
Right.
So,
But house
yeah.
has a life of its own, really. And like land has a life of its own. And Anthony knows like I'm a huge, huge outdoor investigator, like out in hikes and in the woods and everything like that. And people think, oh, how'd you get like an EVP in the middle of the woods? Are you kidding? Like I get a ton of EVPs in the middle of the
Yeah.
woods.
Yeah. I've
Why
done
would
Estes
you
in the
not?
middle of the woods.
Yeah.
This past Christmas Eve, my brother was dealing with some issues. He had lost his son the year prior, and he just wanted to go hang out and ride in the woods all night. I'm like, fine, let's go. And I
Yeah.
brought my equipment with, and I'm like, you know what, let's do an Estes session. Pull over. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the no you didn't in the woods. You hear a baby cry? No, you didn't. You hear your
A
name
fox.
called? No, you didn't.
Right.
You hear whistling in the woods? No, you didn't. And you get the hell out of there. It's Native American tradition, and a lot of the mountain people have that same tradition.
Yes.
Well, I'm out there doing Estes, and I'm spitting out what's coming through, what I'm hearing, and all of a sudden I go, I had the brains enough not to whistle back, but I go, I heard a whistle.
Oh.
And then my brain stops for a second, goes, nope, we're done. No, you
Nope,
didn't,
thanks.
and we're gone.
Out of here.
Yeah, went to the next trail, and he gets out to use the restroom, and I've never seen this old guy run this quick. He goes flying back up to get us out of here. Wow,
Yep.
what's up? I was peeing, and I heard a whistle. So
That's like a
messed
nope,
with.
nope, nope.
Nope, no, you didn't. I'm out. Peace, deuces.
I never heard
Later.
that because I have heard whistles out in the woods and
What'd you
wooded
do?
area.
Yeah.
I-
You whistle back.
I
Did you
continue
whistle
peeing.
back?
I continue peeing.
Yep. Whatever
No,
you
no, I
don't
have
whistle
heard it
back.
out there, and I mean, I'm like anybody there. I question it, and of course I have my camera and stuff like that. I'm looking for something, or my thermal. I always bring with me. I'm outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thermal cam, my thermal video.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when you're outside, because you might hear a whistle and it could be a live person. So if you see red on the thing, you know it's a live person.
Yeah.
I love that.
I worry more about live people out there than
Always. Always.
than
Yeah.
the deceased.
Yeah.
If you see a blue thing there, that I'd be like, oh, okay. Anybody
Let's
there? Yeah, I'd be like, let's talk. You want me to
Yeah.
sketch you?
Right?
I'm not you, Rez. Like I'm alone in the middle of the woods and I hear somebody whistling, I'm out, kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. That's just
Yeah.
traditions.
I'm
You
more afraid of
follow
a
them.
human,
Yeah.
living human out there.
I'm
than I
I'm
am-
from the city, so we don't got those traditions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, see, I was born and raised in Chicago, but I transplanted over 20 years back up here to the reservation. So I got 20
Okay.
years in the woods. So
Nice.
these are all things I've learned over the last 20 years up here.
Mhm.
I love these. I love what you said with the three. That was really interesting. I hadn't
That's
heard that.
interesting. I never heard that, but
You know?
I'll keep that under advisement because I have
I feel
heard
like-
Baby on the Woods.
But it was a fox. I had one
I
on
have-
a recording.
I have-
Sometimes yes,
Yeah.
sometimes they can be, but
Yeah,
not
that's what that-
always.
That debunked the one place. It was a fox, but
Yeah. They sound like babies.
It was in a barn up in the Newburgh, and we heard crying like a baby crying, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Right.
But then I looked into it more. There was red female foxes in heat up there, and they
Yeah.
sound like crying babies.
Okay.
And so yeah, so that was interesting. It was like because I don't like to go and say everything's haunted. I'm not a person like that. I
Yeah,
go
no.
in there and say, people tell me, oh, that place is haunted. Okay, you got to prove it to me. I got it. It
Yeah.
has to be proven to me.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what I
on the
mean?
same boat there.
You
Yeah,
know?
the problem with that is that you're starting at a conclusion, right? So like
Yeah.
we don't want to do that. And
Mhm.
everybody gets sick of me saying it, but I think you should do this. Like don't try to come to the point where it's haunted. Start here and open up and figure out what it is.
Yep.
You know, like don't start with a conclusion because it's like confirmation bias, right? Like
Mhm.
everything you see is confirming that bias that it's haunted.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and I used to work with a separate team years ago when I first got out publicly into this. And they'd always ask, why do you always want to go to the pay to play places? Because just because Joe Schmo gets this evidence doesn't mean I'm going to get the same thing.
Mhm.
You know, because when you go in with that clear head, you never know who or what's going to interact with you, what you might learn. You might find the real truth of the story where Joe thinks he has it, but he's missing a piece.
Mhm.
And what you find actually opens up the big picture.
Yeah. I agree with
Right.
that because
Right.
being a paranormal investigator, and now I call myself a supernatural spectator because spirits come to us. They only give to us what they want. So
Right.
people think, oh,
Mhm.
we're investigating them. Yeah, but the only evidence you're going to get is they share it with you. It's not you're going to
You know?
get it out of them. They
Yeah.
share it
Right.
with you. So we're spectators in their world. You
Mhm.
know, we're trying to, go into their world. They're not really in our world. We're trying to go into their world to get evidence. So that's why I call it spectator. So
I like that.
I
know,
do too.
because
I love it.
because they're not going to give you anything they don't want. So
Right.
It's good. You're a supernatural spectator spirit artist. It's like alliteration. I love it.
Right.
I mean, they come. I mean, the spirits come to me for me to draw them.
Of course they
We
do.
need to get that on a shirt for him.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's like
Spectator.
SSS as a supernatural spectator spirit artist, Anthony Simonelli. It's a lot of S's.
That's
Yeah,
it.
That's so many
That's
letters. You know how much that's going to cost to put that on your shirt?
I agree. That's a lot. It's
Yeah,
going to be
well-
a big shirt.
We'll talk after the show. I actually have a
Yeah.
t-shirt line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rez
All right, love it.
Ink on Printify.
Yeah.
So
I love it. But the other thing, Rez, is like, do you think that my latest thing, and we're doing an event in August called The Hollow in at Stockton University in New
Okay.
Jersey, and I'm doing a
Jersey.
lecture on how, like, as investigators, we affect locations. So, like, how
Yeah.
we affect the location. So you were saying, this is an example. So there's a little boy who haunts that room, right? So everybody's
Yep.
like, there's a little boy who haunts that room. There's a little boy who haunts that room. And suddenly there's a little boy who haunts that room.
Topaz.
Is there really a little boy who passed away who haunts that room? Or did we just create, right? Like a thought
We
form
created
of a
it.
little boy.
Yeah,
right.
we created a
And-
Topa at that point.
And right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm lecturing about. And I personally think it happens more than we know. Like, I think it might be a
Oh, yeah.
high percentage of the investigations we do in places that are visited a lot.
Yes, you are correct, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm the first one to say, yeah, you got to watch what you say that's out there, because there's been examples where I've heard people go in different locations to be like, again, we met Joe there. Joe was a quiet little
Right.
guy. He was, peaceful. He was just stuck in the sane side because he was simple-minded. Well, someone else came in, started saying, well, Joe's a crawler. He comes
Right.
across the ceiling. He's all deformed. And that story's going to catch on quicker than little simple Joe.
Of course.
And so that catches on. Next, you have that crawler.
Oh yeah,
And
and you literally have video of it. Like you can capture it, but it's
Yeah.
not real.
No.
Yeah.
And, and another example is the Slender Man. There was
Slender
never
Man's a perfect example.
There was never a Slender Man, and so all these kids started saying, "Oh, the Slender Man," and all of a sudden, now it's
Right.
born.
The Rake is another one.
The Rake is
That came from, that now people are actually seeing, which was a fictional character.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. The Slender Man, I drew a picture of. I was at this location, and I seen a shadow, a guy with the hat, and tall, skinny, and stuff.
Mhm.
And I didn't have no idea what the Slender Man was. So what happened was I drew, and I drew it, and then I'm at a location showing my art at one of the shows, and they say, "Oh, that's a Slender Man." I'm like, "Who the hell's a Slender Man?"
Right.
That's interesting.
Like,
because that wasn't in your head.
yeah, I mean, I drew it, and it was like, "What's a Slender Man?" And I mean, everything. I noticed now when I first started paranormal, it wasn't even called paranormal; it was called supernatural.
Yep.
Okay, everything was called supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
When in 2000s, like after 2004 with the TV stations started making everything has a title now. Everything has what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everything you see has a specific thing, like Slender Man.
Like a label.
Yeah, everything's a
classification.
Yeah, everything has to have a classification. And I'm like, why? It's been there forever. Now you're going to give it a new name.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
New name, new spin, and reboot it and repackage it. Set it down.
That's
set
it.
it down the highway.
like a lot of the equipment, like all that equipment. When I first stopped buying my equipment, I used to buy it at Home Depot, hardware stores. My recorders, I used to buy
Radio
it
Shack.
at Target, or all these different hardware stores and stuff like that. And I didn't even know what it was to buy equipment until I was buying these things. I had all these different. Then I see these people and they're repackaging it in fancier thing and charging double the price.
Right.
And it keeps on going on. As a matter of fact, some of the stuff that I bought from the hardware store, they were selling in their stores twice as much as I could buy in a hardware store.
Because it was paranormal equipment?
Yeah, now they put paranormal
it.
Or they put a sticker of their company or whatever on it, and they charge double. Yeah, Walmart.
I still use one. I still use a tape recorder as well, but
and
I have a compass that I still carry. That was one of my first pieces.
I always have a compass on me because that's when I first started.
See?
I always have a compass and my dowsing rods.
Me too.
I always have my pendulum on me.
There you
I got
go.
that also.
The
I'm going back. I'm trying to go back to some of my old stuff, but they repackage everything into all this other stuff. And I was looking, and it's like I could buy that. Look at the cat balls that everybody uses now. All those cat balls they put there and they use. All right, the lights up.
Yeah.
You go to a Petco or something, you buy them quarter the price than if you could buy it.
Right.
I mean, I could buy a dozen for the price of like 3 of them I could get from online, because now they call it paranormal equipment or paranormal. You know what I mean? It's something how they just upped it. Even when we used to go on investigations, before it got really popular, I could go to a place like $50, $60. Now these things are like thousands of dollars. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's
expensive to buy the equipment nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I know my previous team I worked with, we had over $20,000 in equipment alone.
Yeah.
And for a guy like me, I'm sorry, I can't afford that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But Alicia made a comment before, if one can find it, talks about going into a location and your energy can affect the location on the investigation or something.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one
Yeah.
thing that a lot of people don't realize. If
I
you're having
completely
a bad
agree.
day, if you're having a bad day or you're fighting with your wife, don't go.
No.
Because you can put yourself or your team or whoever's there with you at
Yeah.
some sort of harm.
So
Yes.
true.
And I always notice if you go in with a negative attitude, you get less evidence anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
You go in with a positive attitude, giggling, laughing, whatever you're going to do, you know. And a lot of times you get a good best EVPs when you're talking amongst each other, and you have your recorder because they're answering at you or they're laughing at your joke or something. You're like, who was that? It was only us two here, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's you go in with positive energy because you go in negative, you're going to get less evidence, and yes, you could have something hurt you if you know if you're not careful.
Yep. Yeah. We had an example where me and some friends of mine got to investigate a location. We were the first people in there, and this building's from the early 1800s.
How nice.
And it was a bar and a bowling alley. And we were down in the basement where the old bowling alley is. The lanes are still in there, and a bunch of junk scattered everywhere, like we were talking earlier. And it was quiet. So we just start chopping it up, you know, cracking jokes with one another. And of course, me being native, I start cracking some of the racist native jokes. All of a sudden, the equipment is going off like no other. We actually had one of the pieces go off so hard that it fried a brand new battery.
No way.
Not shut off.
I've seen this happen, so I believe you. Like I know that what you're saying.
And it was one of the most goofiest things ever. It was what did I say? Oh, I work out at my local casino asking white people if they have reservations too. And it just blew up the whole piece of equipment.
That is hilarious, actually.
You
but
know?
yeah, no, I think that it's if I were like, you have to always put yourself, like, I'm not as sensitive, but I try to be empathetic. I try to put myself in the position of, you know, someone who used to, I say this to Anthony all the time, like, what was it like to cook on this fire? What was it like to have 10 kids because you might lose some? You know what I mean? What was life like, you know, on the prairie or in the Revolutionary War or whatever? Like, I really try to put myself in that mind frame.
Into their moment,
You can connect better like that. I really think that, you know, you going in as like 2026 Jennie, what do we have in common? You know, you talk about things like, I have children. Did you have children? You know, like, I'm a mom. Are you a mom? Those are the things people throughout the ages will be able to relate to.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You know, I go in not only with my native background and my history, but I go in as everything else I've done through my life. And I try to connect to every location. And I found out on a lot of these locations I go where I'm running into Native American spirits, they're welcoming me in, and then the rest will start warming up to me eventually. You know, the first ones are the heritage, you know, the bloodlines. You know,
and we've seen that with friends of ours who have some native blood, you know, in some native heritage, that they sometimes connect better. They really do get better connection.
Yeah, I was out with some other mediums at a location they'd been to before, and there's native burial grounds there. And she goes, "Yeah, I've always seen a few out here and there." But when she walked out there with me, she looked, she's like, "Oh my God, the field is filled with them." And being a wise ass, I turned to her and go, "Welcome to my tribe. They walk with me everywhere." Because these locations we end up going to, it seems like every time I show up to one, they send one of their scouts with me.
That's so nice. Oh, I love that.
It kind of makes sense, you know, because what did the white people do to the tribes?
They massacred them.
So why would they go, like a guy like me, why would they come to me when they got somebody that has their blood that they feel more safer with? You know?
Right.
That's the whole thing. You know, that's why I always associate, like I said before, you go into like a hospital of like a you know, Trans-Allegheny or something, a hospital, old asylum type of thing. You go in with, I go in with cameras and stuff. I don't carry stuff in my hands because how do they torture these people? How do they experiment with things with lights and buzzers? They see you come in with a light or a buzzer, in your hand or you're putting stuff around, they're not going to come to you because they're going to be afraid that you're going to do something to hurt them.
Exactly.
So you got to understand that certain locations you go to, how to present yourself. You know, like you're Native American, and you know they'll come to you faster than they'll come to a guy like me. You know, because the guy like me, not me personally, but you know, a white person in history. That's who chased them off their land, who massacred them. You know, from babies to everything. And at these hospitals, you go in with all these gadgets. You just know where you're going, and know some.
Right.
I know you don't like a history, but sometimes it's good to know some of the history because it could help you to get better evidence. You know,
right?
And that's how. And also it helps you get the EVPs, questions on EVPs.
Oh yeah.
Like Gettysburg, I always ask certain questions. You know, colors of uniform, even the buttons. Because certain buttons meant for certain divisions of certain states, you know, what was on their buttons, or, you know, you ask questions like that, you know, to get specific to certain things. You know,
that's a really good point, Anthony. And I've even like, I think you can't be selfish. Like I've been in places where I know no man is going to answer me, and I'll have like one of the, you know, male investigators be like, you need to talk. You need to be the one to talk. You need to be the one to answer the questions, because there's no way they're answering my questions here.
Oh yeah.
You know, because at that time, there's no way they would have listened to a woman about these things. So, hey, it's not about me. It's about the you know, the experience, the research, the you know, the discovery that we're all into, right? So I'll be like, Anthony, you need to ask the questions because they're not, you know. And I'm not offended because we're going into a different time, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I love what you said, Anthony. That was good.
Yes, I agree with that. You know, I was just on down in Baraboo a few weeks ago, and my question to them, because they weren't kind of answering anything, and we had someone on ask this, I'm like, are dirty old savages like me allowed in this building? And we got no. So back in the old times, the natives weren't allowed in that building back in the Western days. So that's why they weren't answering me.
Do you have awareness of that? So did you stay out?
I just kept my mouth shut and kind of helped when needed.
I like it. It's like respect, even when you shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like even when that's the wrong thing to say. Like it's just a respect for the building and the location. Like I said, that's not cool, but
yeah, but you know what? You got to realize in their time era, they're correct for what they believe in.
Exactly.
It's
like
not 2026 there. You know, just like another time eras, children and women were to be seen and not heard. So like you were saying, you know, you let someone else speak or a male speak for you at that moment.
Right.
That's because that was the time era that they're from.
Exactly. Which I would never do that nowadays.
Oh, heck no.
Which I would never do now.
You got a voice, girl. Let it roar.
But, yeah, exactly. I would never let a man speak for me. But at that time, yeah, exactly. I'm happy to have Anthony do it, you know, and you know, whatever. If you have a certain profession or you're certain, you know, whatever. I just think it's better. The more connection we can make, the better. That's the whole idea. We're connecting, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we just said something about trigger objects can be people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. I agree with that. People can be trigger objects.
Sure they can.
You know, my prime example is when it comes to asylums and all that, I've been in for holds before for mental illness, for depression, bipolar, and I've been in the padded rooms. So I connect a little bit to that. I know that feeling, that sorrow. And on the other hand, half my family has been locked up in prison, and I do have that little F behind my name where I haven't gone to the joint, but I've managed to screw up when I was younger.
Right.
So therefore, when you go into a prison, just because of that little F, they're going to talk to me first because they're going to see me as one of their own versus someone that goes in there that may have been a guard at one point in time in the corrections facilities.
Exactly, like a police officer or something like that that they can sense right away, of course. I love that. Yeah, it's really true. Or me or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when I used to go to Gettysburg to go investigating the thing, the way I cut my beard now with this, I would
Mhm.
always, I have the full beard like you. I just did this recently. But I used to do this all the time when I went to Gettysburg because that was one of the styles
Yeah.
they used to use there. And that's the style that they was used by men at that time. So
Yeah.
I used to do this time. Well, I like it now, so I'm just going to use it. It's easy to clean. But
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever you can do to connect. Like I use language a lot. Like I'm Dutch, and I ask questions in Dutch, like Dutch settlements in New York State, and I get answers back in Dutch, or I get answers back in English, answering the Dutch question, which is hilarious. But like they're answering it correctly, so they understood me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool too. And we get, using different languages really works as well. If you're in a heavily Polish area, if you're in a heavily whatever, that helps too. I guess we've given enough examples. You get the point.
Yeah,
You
we
get
got
into
it.
the point.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're getting to
examples out here. Hey,
yeah,
We're
we're getting to
harping
the
on it.
top of the hour now. And I
Oh my
ask
gosh.
everyone that comes onto the show a question. And that is, if money was not an option, you go anywhere in the world, where would you like to investigate? And we'll have Jennie, you go first. Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the
Access to
world.
anything.
Really?
Yep, full access.
Wow. It's someplace you can investigate, I think, but I would like to investigate at Pearl Harbor.
Okay. That'd be unique. That's the first time I've
Yeah.
heard that one.
That, or I've never done the West. Like I've never done like Cowboys, that kind of like, Tombstone and things like that. I haven't done that yet.
Oh,
I've done Europe and
unfortunately, we can't get into Tombstone.
yeah, but you know what I
that
mean.
one
Like,
Turk's got it locked down. So
yeah, but something like that. Like I've never been, I've been there, but I've never investigated a saloon.
right, I would love to investigate one of those old saloons like that. I think that'd be cool. Then again, I think we'd run into the issue of natives not allowed being there.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would have to serve drinks, but
Right. So what about you, Anthony?
I think the Roman Colosseum.
Oh,
I like
nice.
that. I like
The
that.
gladiators.
The gladiators. You know what? Because look at all the stuff that happened there.
That's a great one.
All the death, between the death and all the emotions and everything that had to go on there. So I feel like the Roman Colosseum would be that would be my top place if I had all access.
That would be phenomenal.
Tower of London would be another good one.
Tower of London. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, everyone that watches the show knows this. My biggest thing is I want to do 30 days on the Rock. I want to go to Alcatraz for 30 days.
30 days I will love. I've done Alcatraz back in 1986. But I did it on a tour, and I had some crazy experiences. Also, back then in '86, there was no digital cameras and all this other stuff. And my camera, because I was taking flash camera, back then with 35 millimeter camera, like, it was like a box this big with a big.
Yeah.
And
I still have one of them 35s. With interchangeable lenses.
Oh yeah.
And my camera died. The camera didn't die. I took pictures on all of the outside.
Yeah.
Pictures on the inside. Then I took pictures on the outside. I was leaving. All the pictures on the inside did not come out. All the pictures on the outside did.
What?
I mean, not come out, but that was like, I remember back then you had to get your film developed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You had to get
take
your
it
film
into
developed.
Jewel Osco or somewhere to.
Oh my gosh, those little photo mat things.
Yeah.
I've done Alcatraz as well in 1990, and
nice
a couple of times actually. But that would be an amazing place. And but go outside on the island, by where the apartments are, where they live.
I want to do the entire island. That's why I want 30 days.
That's a great one. You got
2 reasons there. A, because of the fact that I have that little F behind my name, and 2, because of the AIM movement that took it over, the American Indian movement. They took it over for an amount of time.
Right.
So therefore, I should be able to get both sides of that energy to communicate with
them. Right. And when you go, you're gonna not think of what you're gonna get. You're gonna just
go with the flow.
Because you never know. You might get
30
some
days
lady
for
who
that
used to
island
come
would
in
be
and cut
awesome.
hair, you know, like,
Right.
like,
Isn't that how long the Native Americans were there? Like 30 days,
Something like that, 30 or
Yeah.
60. I don't
Before they
remember
removed
exactly.
them, or
they do it on the
whatever.
tour. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I was that. That's back in the 60s, wasn't it?
60s,
I
70s, something like that. I think it was 70s.
Could
I have to
be.
brush up on my history. Yeah, I think it was the 70s.
I love that place.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I went, like I said, '86. I went back there, and a lot of places, a lot of parts you couldn't go in because it was falling down.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got
And-
pictures. Oh yeah, I wish I would have brought that up because I have a picture of in the front as we're going there with the island.
Hmm.
Two people standing on the island watching us coming on. So I said something like to the guy driving us over there, because it was like the park people, and I said to them like, "Oh, there's people on the island." There's nobody on the island right now, and I got pictures of two people standing on one of the gates looking out
Oh, cool.
to us.
You know, guards still doing their job.
Good one,
reporting
guys.
for
Those are
duty.
good.
Yeah.
You know. So, all right, time for shameless plug time. So, how can everyone find you? Do you have any events coming up? Websites, everything.
Jennie,
Shows.
it's all you. You want to do it?
That's all me. Okay. So we have a podcast called Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians, where it's really where we talk about the history a lot of a place and where it meets the paranormal.
Yeah.
We do it with our friend Kim, who is a wonderful location medium and veterinarian, which really helps us with those animal noises too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have a lot coming up, but the biggest
Yeah,
event
our
we
next
have
one is Gettysburg.
Gettysburg and the Hollow,
Nice.
which is a
The
huge
Hollow.
convention. Anthony's
And
going to do a workshop with spirit art. You can say
Yeah,
it, but
I'm doing sketching with the spirits. I'm doing a workshop showing people how to sketch a little bit and how to, how to come across and how to draw a spirit.
so
then,
good.
then after that, I'm going to be at the Parajam. It's in Gettysburg Parajam, which is pretty cool. It's they deal with the paranormal, and then they have bands
A concert.
Nice.
jamming. So that's
Very
awesome.
cool.
Cool.
That's a lot
Cool.
of fun.
Then
And then
after
the
that-
Hollow, which is the huge one. Like
yeah,
when you're like, for me, I'm doing a lecture on, like we said, it's called Haunted by the Living. And then I'm also doing a workshop, how to build a really simple, pod, like a pod.
yeah.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I'm a tinkerer, a
Then
nerd.
we got
Figured that out
at
by
the
now.
Ritz Theater. We're going to be doing a show at.
We are.
We're going to be doing the Ritz
Got a
Theater.
lot of investigations coming up too.
Yeah, we're
Nice.
going to be a
I'm
different.
gonna, and
location.
as soon as we get off, we're gonna be like, oh, we forgot this and we forgot this. But
Yeah,
That's
I
what
have
happened.
everything written down. Different things.
Yeah. And you guys are all out on the East Coast, right?
we are. I'm in
Yeah,
New Jersey.
I'm
he's
in New York. I'm in
And
Queens.
and I love when people friend request me on
New
Facebook.
Jersey
Like
person.
I'm the opposite of a lot of people. Like, please say hi. Come say hi
Yes,
to
I
us
agree.
on our Seekers Chronicles.
Yeah.
You know. We're
Yeah.
on
When I
Facebook, we're
when I
on-
put the ad out earlier and I typed your guys' name, it brought it up right away. Oh, we're already friends. Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
8
yeah.
to 10
I-
p.m. 8 to 10 p.m. Tuesdays, just before you can watch us. Give
Right. Hey,
it a
I'll
try.
have to start tuning in. I'll check you guys out.
Oh, it's a lot of
You
fun.
know?
That'd
Alright.
be awesome.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
that's
much.
cool. No,
It's
thank you.
such a pleasure to be here.
I greatly appreciate you guys coming on, especially at the last
Of
minute.
course.
You
of
know,
course.
I love you guys to
Anytime.
death. I look forward to
Anytime.
future conversations with you guys.
That'd be
So,
great.
if you want to hang around, we'll talk a little more bit backstage. But
Sure.
our hour's up. I want to tell everyone thank you for tuning in tonight. And remember, life is too short to dream your life away. Get out there and live your dreams today. Other than that, Gwen, take us away, please.